All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Let's Rock Reviews.
Hey, hey.
Today we talk about Concrete and Gold.
We
Two of
do.
my favorite things. No, I'm just kidding. Um, a little bit of a spoiler. We already saw the show. Let's be honest here. We saw the
we
show. We
we
did our
did.
review. Hopefully, hopefully you listen to it. And if it's not out yet, it'll be out the next day or so. So hopefully you listen to it soon. However, we did want to review all the albums. We had these ready. Um, so we wanted to make sure we got these out here for each and every album. We still have three albums to go. So here we are with Concrete and Gold, the 2017 release album, the ninth studio album from the band Foo Fighters. Kurt, what do we got?
We got an interesting album. Uh yeah, last one we did was Sonic Highways, and it was a very creative album, at least with the how it was recorded, but now we go back into the studio recording as always. One thing they did change up though was the producer that they used.
Yes, they
Uh
did.
Instead of the usual Butch Vig. Am I remembering correctly? Anyway, they go with Greg Kirsten, and it was very interesting how Dave met up with Greg. There's a YouTube video on the Foo Fighters channel, The Making of Concrete and Gold.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'll try to summarize it, but it's kind of funny because there's like an animation video with it. But Dave, he heard a song by the band The Bird and the Bee, and it was like electronic jazz, very melodic, Beach Boys, Beatles. Um, anyway, Dave was in Hawaii and he saw Greg Kurstin with his family, uh, saying he's a huge fan. They got to know each other, they became friends, and over time, Greg he became a big producer. Like, I mean, names like Adele and Pink, just big. And Dave mentioned it to his band manager. It's like, hey, let's get Greg. And Dave's impression of his band manager was great. He's like, good luck, get in line, there's an 8 month wait, stuff like that. So anyway, Dave meets up with Greg again, and he's just like, hey, just kind of casually, I'd love to have you produce a Foo Fighters record someday. And Greg, he takes interest in that, and you know, they get him as their producer. And it was interesting because Greg, he'd never done like some sort of big rock album, more along the lines of pop. So it was very interesting that Dave wanted to use him, and very interesting that Greg was like, yeah, let's do this. But also, I mean, when it's for a big band like the Foo Fighters, it's like, how can you say no to that? So,
How do you say no to Dave Grohl? You don't.
right. Yeah.
You say
Yeah.
yes, Dave Grohl. What do you want to do?
Yeah.
There was a little bit of a setback at first, though. They
Hmm.
on the tour after their album, after their previous album, Song Highways. Dave broke his leg on stage,
Oh,
and
yes.
oh, where was he, man?
Sweden, I believe.
Sweden. He was in Sweden. He in Sweden falls off stage, breaks his leg, and in typical Dave Grohl fashion, comes back out a little bit later and finishes the show, and then has a throne created. At least that's what it was called, the throne, that allowed him to continue um, playing the show. So they didn't have to cancel any days. He sat down. However, he was unable to walk. He was dealing with injuries. They wanted originally something about a live show concert, but then someone else had done it previously, and so they scrapped that idea. And then there was talk of an indefinite hiatus because of his leg. That didn't last very long, though. Usually, you get an indefinite hiatus, and 5 years later, you get an album. This one, it was like, oh, we're gonna go on an indefinite hiatus, and a year later, there was an album out.
Yeah. One
So,
thing I gotta add, talking about the concert that he broke his leg. He talks about this in his storyteller book, and I will say that one of the this was definitely um, one that I'm glad I listened to on audiobook. Well, one, because Dave himself, he was the narrator, but also he gives like the story that he's telling, what's happening, um, talking with like the doctor, and like Dave's doing his impression of the Swedish accent, and he's like, so one thing that Kyle didn't mention, when he came back up to play, the doctor went on stage with him, held his ankle in place while
oh,
he
that's
sat
right. That's
and
right. I did
performed.
forget about that.
And like, well, one part that he did the impression, he's like, the doctor was like, "Your leg is broken," and he's just Dave's impression was hilarious. And then there's another part as he's playing, he sees the doctor like kind of like nodding his head, like kind of like
Yeah,
rocking out.
rocking out with it.
And he like looks down at him. He's like, "This is pretty cool, huh?" And the doctor's like, "Yeah," just all excited. But
You know what's better than Dave's impression of that doctor?
huh.
Your impression of Dave's impression of that doctor.
Exactly. Now
That's wonderful.
you gotta do an impression of me doing the impression, and we just keep going. And no, don't actually do
We'll be
that.
stuck in
But
an eternal time loop.
yeah, just wanted to add that highlight from the yeah, when he broke his leg.
Well, I mean, we go into this album because of where it was and other people. There's a lot of guests on this album too.
There are tons of
I
guests,
know,
and
which
a
you
lot of
always get a couple with the Dave Grohl album, but like it feels like this one has more. I don't know, maybe it doesn't, but it feels like there's way more.
it and guess maybe we'll wait for specific songs, but guess you wouldn't expect to be on a Foo Fighters
Oh,
album.
I know, right? Like, I mean,
What-
some of them. Well, yeah,
keep keep listening, keep
let's get
listening,
into
and
that
you'll
later.
find out.
Keep listening, and you'll see if you don't know.
Yeah.
If you don't know, you've probably
Um.
already Googled it though. So
Yeah.
keep listening anyway because we want to talk to you
Exactly.
about it.
Um.
Also, this album is significant for one other thing. It is the first um, Foo Fighters studio album to feature longtime session and touring keyboardist Rami Jaffe as a permanent member.
Yes. Yeah. He's been part of the previous albums, but yeah, now he's there full time.
Yep.
Very exciting to see. Um, One thing I learned, well, 2017 streaming, that's getting big. You know, us growing up, it was all about, album sales. But then as streaming takes over, not as many people are buying the albums.
Yeah, very true.
I learned about album equivalent units. So, like us, growing up, you hear like, oh, this has sold 1 million copies, something like that. Album equivalent units, it takes into account for streaming. So, one album sale equals 10 song downloads, which equals 1,500 song streams. So, like if your song is streamed, 1,500 times, that's as if someone bought your album. So I was like, oh wow, that's cool. Like,
1,500 times is an album sale. That seems.
yeah, it's equivalent unit.
Yeah, that's interesting because back in back right around then, that's when a lot of people were buying like. I mean, now we have Spotify. No one buys music anymore. Like that's the one thing.
I
I
still
feel
do.
like not, huh?
I still do.
Dude, I mean, I'm talking about the younger generation here. Of course, we still buy music. I buy well,
Yes.
I buy records now, but
Nice.
because I'm not that old, but I want to be that old, I guess. So
Yeah, yeah.
why not buy albums? No,
Yeah.
it was when everyone was downloading songs off of iTunes, like buying, you could buy a single song for like 99 cents. off
Yeah.
iTunes, and then Spotify comes out. And you just stream the songs anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. But yeah,
So
very interesting.
yeah,
I will add that Roll described the album's overall theme as hope and desperation. And
yeah.
we kind of go into it with some of the songs, but it's kind of tying into events that are happening around this time and the year before. So
What are you talking about? What happened in 2016? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. We won't get into that because that's not the purpose of this podcast here. We don't want to make it about that. But yes, hope and desperation is definitely the theme. And you know what? Knowing that, I probably say this every podcast we do, but like knowing the inspiration behind it makes it that much more special. And you can understand the songs better, and it makes the songs uh, more impactful, which I think in turn makes them better because you're understanding what the artist is trying to go with. It'd be like having the artist next to you be like, okay, so when I was drawing this painting or coloring this painting, this is what I was going for. This is what I was thinking. This is what I was going through in my life at the time. And then you understand it better. You understand what they're trying to say. I mean, how many times
Yeah.
for people listening, how many times have you gone into like a song, you're like, dude, that's a cool song. I want to know what that song means. Like, what is he trying to say? What's the message behind it? Because artists are cryptic sometimes. They don't really always say exactly what they mean. And so
Yeah.
the fact that he tells us what's going on in the world, how he's personally feeling, agree with it, disagree with it, how he's personally feeling about it, it makes the album mean a lot more.
Yeah. I've seen Death Cab for Cutie a few times now, and back in 2011, um, Ben Gibbard, lead singer, he really talked about for quite a few of the songs, like before they started playing, he just gave like a 30-second synopsis of it, and like some of the songs that I was just kind of like, whatever, it's an all right song. Like I ended up like loving because it's like, oh wow, like this song is about this, and like yeah, I always love hearing like the background and um the meaning behind certain songs. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool. I like it. I sometimes I like listening to a song without knowing the meaning, but then learning the meaning later. But sometimes it's
Yeah,
nice to be like, okay, this is the theme they were going for. Now let me go listen so I can understand the songs better. It's cool.
yeah,
It's cool to know.
for sure.
Anything else you want to say before we move into the songs?
Um, oh, one thing. Oh no, I'll mention it during the song.
I know there's a lot of things I want to say, but I don't want to
Yeah,
because
I
there's
say
so
we.
much. There's so much in there.
Yeah, but yeah. Let's get into the songs.
All right, cool. Concrete and Gold, song number one. I just want to keep my t-shirt clean.
Yeah. This
I love the
song,
voice in the beginning of the song so much.
yeah. Sing it for us, Kyle.
I would if I had my full voice, but
Oh yeah,
we
that's
had my
true.
son's first scrimmage today, and we won, and so there was a bit of screaming happening.
Yeah.
So my voice will crack if I try to say, "I just want to keep my t-shirt clean." I can't even sing the tune; it's that bad.
That was perfect. Perfect. It's a very
Sounded just
short
like Dave
song,
Grohl there.
right? It's like a minute 23 seconds long. So it's kind of like Doll in
So the shortest Foo Fighters song ever?
I I
I'm
don't know
just
if
kidding.
it's the shortest.
No, I'm
Yeah,
not. It's
like
not.
it feels more of just like an intro to the album type
Yeah,
thing. Not one it's like, hey, put on the song T-shirt, you know?
yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's kind of going back to what you were asking, Kyle, what happened in 2016. Uh, Dave did write this about the 2016 election, and and
I'm just kidding.
this may upset some, maybe not for others, but he says we have seen a reality show host become president. So he was not a fan of Trump,
I mean,
so
he's not
becoming
wrong.
president.
A reality
Yeah,
show host became president. I mean, that's not. You can get offended at that if you want, but it's a true fact.
it is, yeah. And yeah, maybe we won't go into all the details of things he said, but yeah, it was something that shook him, um, and agree or disagree. What's rock and roll all about, Kyle? Sticking it to
Can't
the
say,
man.
I can't say that here. If you've seen Empire Records, down with the man, save the empire.
No, I was
Yeah, it
shooting
is.
for
It's all about
Jack
sticking it to
Black,
the man.
and we all have our ways that we need to stick it to the man, and this was Dave's way, and yeah, that's just
Yeah.
that's just what the song is about. So
I got to say this. Total side note, has nothing to do with anything. I'm in a leadership meeting for teachers at my school on Thursday, and we had to, the kind of the icebreaker was name your favorite movie and why. I'm going to give
nice.
you two guesses what mine was.
I'm gonna say School of Rock.
The School of Rock. It was definite. I definitely said School of Rock. Now, whether that's my favorite movie, I don't know, but I did want that to be perceived as my favorite movie
It
because it's
has
it's
to
definitely
be.
great. So
Yeah.
anyway, now that we are talking about Stick It to the Man Neosis,
Yes.
we have song two, Run,
Run. Oh
which takes
man.
place in a uh, elder care facility. No, I'm just kidding. The
Yes.
video does.
Yeah.
I
This
love this
is
song, man. I really do.
yeah.
It's a good song. It's one of my.
It's
It's got to be like probably top two on the album for me.
yeah.
I like this one a lot.
It starts off very calm, but don't let that make you think that that's what the song is going to be like the whole time. It's probably turns into one of their heaviest songs, or
Yeah.
at least up there.
So did you just describe half of all of Foo Fighters songs? Starts off slow, gets hard.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I just want to make sure. No,
This,
I'm just kidding.
yeah, this one has it almost maybe maybe not everyone listening will understand this, but it sounded a little new metal, not like newer metal, but there's that older genre, new metal, NU
And you
metal.
metal. We know we. Yeah.
I
Hopefully,
know,
okay, good. Thanks for describing that to everyone else because there's some people that's like new metal. What's new metal? No,
yeah,
it's not
yeah,
new NEW. NU metal.
yeah.
There you go.
Stuff we were listening to in high school.
Yes.
um, I in the YouTube video I was mentioning the making of Concrete and Gold, like he talked about like the influence Greg had. He said our riffs go from being heavy to huge. He's like, and he's doing the sounds himself. He's like, they were like to da 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 da. So it just like really takes it up that next level. Um, oh,
Oh man, that's so good.
yeah.
So yeah,
Loudwire named the song the eighth best hard rock song of 2017, apparently.
what? The eighth best.
To be clear, not the ninth best, eighth best.
Interesting.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the list. So I'll have to look at what the other seven are. But anyway, yeah, check this out if you're into the heavier stuff and a little bit of yelling. So this may interest you.
Yeah, it would, and it's good. The chorus is really. I like how the chorus brings it back every single time, and that's I think what I like so much about this song is the chorus.
Yeah.
So yeah, we run now.
Hmm.
Now you need to make it right.
There
Just
we
kidding. That's the
go.
name of the next song. Make it right.
Track 3. Um, this might be a good time to bring up the some of the guest performers on this
Oh yes,
album.
yes. Let's
Uh,
hear it.
we have some backing vocals by none other than Justin Timberlake.
You
Not
know,
s-
it doesn't that doesn't surprise me as some of the other ones though, to be honest, because Justin Timberlake, if you're familiar with some of his work, always seems like he's down for anything. If
Oh
someone comes
yeah.
to Justin Timberlake, hey man, you want to do this? He's like, dude, that'd be hilarious. Let's do that. I mean, how many
Yeah.
collabs with Andy Samberg and Jimmy Fallon has he done where he's just ridiculously silly? And so the
Yeah.
fact that like he's down for a Foo Fighters song, it actually doesn't surprise me as much as some of the other people, but
True. It
he is
well,
a
yeah.
phenomenal artist. Love him or hate him, whatever you feel about boy bands in the 90s, Justin Timberlake is incredibly talented in very many
Oh yeah.
aspects. I just said assets.
Assets.
Aspects.
Well, Dave even said, well, he does like the la la la's at the end,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Dave was like, he nailed it. I'm telling you, the guy is going somewhere.
yeah. Yeah, he hasn't been anywhere yet in 2017, but he's going
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah. Well, and I love it because like Justin was like kind of he said like, "Can I sing on your record? I don't want to push it, but I just want to be able to tell my friends." I was like, "That is so cool." It's like,
That's awesome. Like the
yeah,
fact that he wanted to, you know what I mean?
yeah.
That's
So
cool.
pretty fantastic. Listen for those la la la's at the end.
That is
There,
indeed Justin Timberlake wanting to tell his friends he was on a Foo Fighters album because apparently he didn't have enough to brag about to his friends with.
right? Yeah. Careful, there is some language in this song, but still some good parts. So
Indeed. All right. From there, we go to
the sky is a neighborhood.
The Skies and sorry, I lost my list and I was like, I know this song. I'm like it's singing it in my head as I'm looking for the list.
Yeah,
The Sky's a Neighborhood. Yes, The Sky's a Neighborhood. I like this song too. This is a good one.
yeah. I feel like it's pretty different than most Foo Fighters songs. Like we talked about, I feel like, there's like the hard and heavy stuff, or there's like kind of the acoustic that gets heavy. This is just kind of like a heavy but slow. And I feel like typically their heavy stuff is like fast. So it's like, oh, interesting. It's different, but it's good. And I like how
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
it is good.
the video features two of his daughters, Violet and Harper. Like they wanted to be in the video, so like, yeah, let's do it.
And any father of a girl will tell you that you can't, you can't say no to that. Dad, can
Oh
I come
yeah.
to work with you tomorrow? Of course you can.
Yeah,
We're shooting a music
definitely.
video. You guys want to be in it? Oh yeah, that'd be great.
So
That's
good.
cool. He's
But
also, I mean, he's played on stage with his daughters too. Like
oh
that's one
yeah.
of, I mean, he talks about it in his book. It's one of his proudest moments being on stage in front of thousands of people with his daughters is rocking out.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
And the music video is like years in the making. He talks about like vivid dreams he had as a child, like floating through his neighborhood in a small craft. There's one where he's lying on the grass in his front yard, staring up at the sky, trying to summon a UFO to take him to another world. And yeah, he describes this in his storyteller book as well, but you'll just watch the video, you'll this will make a lot more sense.
Yeah.
um, and he mentions there's one dream that he'll never forget. And to kind of paraphrase, he's in Southern Europe, casually walking a steep grassy knoll, looking at the harbor below. There's stars started becoming brighter. The sky suddenly imploded with a blinding flash, knocking me to the ground. He looked up, and the stars, now replaced with UFOs. And there's some other details as well, but apparently he had a lot of UFO dreams. So,
What it sounds like is the guy just eats too much sugar before bed. He needs to calm his mind down before he sleeps.
yes,
Stay
exactly.
tuned for more health tips from Kyle on the Rock Podcast. No, I'm just kidding. No, I mean that people dream, and that's a pretty vivid dream, man.
Yeah.
To have that stuff going on, and you put you mix vivid dreams with an artist, you get some pretty cool stuff, man.
Hmm.
Anyway, or you're an artist because you have vivid dreams, and that's just how your mind works.
Who knows?
Stay tuned for more psychological tip. No, I'm just kidding. Let's press forward.
Let's press forward. You guys came here for music.
Yes, indeed. Not my health tips, which I am not qualified to give at all. I feel like I don't know. Maybe it's not. I feel like that's one of the more popular songs in the album.
Yeah, I would say so. That was on there for most of the set lists, I believe, if not
Yeah.
all of the current tour.
Now we move to another song they played at the concert that we went to on August
They
9th.
they did.
La di da.
La di da.
One of my favorite quotes ever. Well, la di frickin' da.
All right,
And
Chris
this
Farley.
this is probably my favorite song in the album. I don't know why. Don't ask me why.
Ah,
But I just the way it starts, it's the guitar, the way it impacts it, and then the la di da. It's just great.
yeah,
For me, this song just meshes so well.
nice. It is a good one. And one of the guests on here, I was pretty excited to see Dave Koz. He plays saxophone. He's
Oh,
more
I
of
know
the
Dave Koz very well.
Oh, okay, excellent.
Sunday morning jazz. Dave
Yes.
Koz on the radio. What was that? Was it 94.7?
The wave.
94.7 The Wave. Welcome back to Smooth Jazz on Sunday morning with Dave Koz. Yeah, dude, I love Dave
We're
Koz. He's
here
great.
we're here for the No Stress Express. Yeah, for those that aren't familiar, he's not like the old school jazz, like Miles Davis or Coltrane, but more of like the newer smooth jazz.
Yeah, definitely a
Um,
smooth jazz guy.
yeah, but he's great. I've listened to him for a while, so I was excited to hear about that.
I used to listen to the Dave Koz radio show with my dad in the car, and I
Yes.
totally forgot to send this to him. I was gonna send him this song and be like, "Hey, guess who's in this song? In this Foo Fighters song?" I'm
Yes. I love that.
gonna do that. I'm gonna next podcast. I'm gonna get his reaction to the Dave Koz song. I should have got it for this podcast because it would have been perfect, but
Oh,
it would have been so good. I'm so mad I didn't think about that, but I'll get it for next one,
that would have
and
been
we'll do a
awesome.
retroactive reaction.
Good. That would have been awesome to have your dad be the guest reviewer.
Right, right. Although I do have a guest reviewer for this song, but she is substantially younger than my father. So
Yes. Yes. I did see on songfacts.com La Di Da channels Dave Grohl's feelings when he was a lonely teenage punk rock kid in suburban Virginia. He says it's a portrait of me as a teenager feeling completely alienated and repressed by the conservative environment of the early to mid 80s. Told that to Rolling Stone actually. So listen to that song and yeah, pay attention to this fact and maybe it'll make more sense to you or I don't know. That's the background of that song though. So
yeah, dirty water. Don't
I
drink it,
really
but it's a good
don't
song.
drink it. It is a good song. I like this one. Another one we talk I feel like we talk about it a lot, but it's one that starts off calm and gets heavy. Um, is I saw a performance. Um, he had his daughter Violet help sing backups at one of the concerts, and she was younger at the time, so it was pretty cool to see have her get involved at the concert.
That is so cool because I mean, you got young kids. I got young kids, or at one point they were young, and
Yeah,
their courage levels are not always there. So the fact that she got up there and sang it is just incredible.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, definitely a good song. I'd recommend it.
Definitely a listen.
Hmm.
Next one is Arrows.
Arrows. I couldn't find much about this song.
Yeah,
It's a song to check out. It's
I mean, for sure. All right, then. Happy ever after.
Happy Ever After. Oh, this one's just pure calm song. This reminded me of White Stripes. I can tell we are going to be friends.
Oh,
This
such a
is
good song.
yeah. This isn't necessarily saying it's like his inspiration or anything, but it's just that's kind of what it made me think of as I listened to it. So if you
I
like
can
that
tell that
song,
we are gonna be friends.
yeah. If you like that music, check out track 8,
Yeah, it's good.
Happy Ever After.
It's a good listen
Hmm.
for sure. Sunday Rain, a six
Sunday
minute
Rain.
and 11-second song.
Nice.
That is a really long
Um,
song.
this is interesting because Taylor Hawkins sings it and Paul McCartney plays drums.
Which this one kind of surprised me. Paul McCartney, man. Like,
Yeah.
I guess maybe not because I don't know. Like when I read Paul McCartney was on this album, I was like, really? That's not the that's the collab that I was like, that's interesting. That's really interesting. But I mean, if you can get Paul McCartney on your album, you get Paul
Oh
McCartney
yeah.
on your album.
Oh yeah.
Like that's a no-brainer right there.
Yeah. I love forgot the interview. There's a YouTube video. Interview, I think Dave and Taylor are in it, but as Dave's talking with Paul, like calls him up, it's like, hey, we were thinking about this song. Taylor's gonna sing. We want you to play drums. Dave impersonating Paul. He's like, you've always got crazy ideas. Just kind of like with like a little laugh, and I just loved his impression of Paul McCartney. And
You know what I love more? Your impressions of Dave's impressions this time around. They've been
I
spot on, dude. They're so
I've
good.
got I've got so many of them for this
You're
podcast.
not done yet either.
Are you Emma? Do I have another one?
I don't know, do you? I
Oh,
was hoping you did.
I'll see. I don't think I do, but maybe I'll think of one. I'll just redo one or something. But yeah, this song reminds me of well, just hearing the song made me think of oh shoot, on their album Sonic Highways, track 5, Outside, when they collaborated with the Eagles singer and guitarist Joe Walsh.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Ta- Taylor, like I had never seen him like so just like excited and like happy watching Joe Walsh jam. And I feel like this song like kind
Yes.
of is like an older Eagles style song. Like Taylor just loved it so much and he's just like, I want to do this song really badly. I don't That's not necessarily fact, but that's just when I heard it, I was like, oh, I could see kind of a connection here. So I yeah, I wonder how much that influenced him to make the song.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. We're on the line.
The line.
You know what this song feels like to me? It feels like I just got done watching a movie and the credits are rolling. Just
Hmm.
some, and it was like a happy ending movie, like, I don't know. I don't want to say a rom-com ending, but like,
No, I don't see that.
no, not at all. Just like some classic movie and the hero wins in the end and where you're just sitting in the credits and this song comes on and it just seems to fit the end credit vibe.
Yeah. I really do like this song. I was gonna say it's an underrated song, but I don't think I can say that because apparently this was a the third song released ahead of the album's release. So yeah, I guess it was a single. It's not one you hear a lot live though. Like you hear The Sky is a Neighborhood and La Di Da,
Yeah.
but um But
Not the
yeah,
line often.
yeah, but a good song. And apparently, this was featured in commercials for TBS's postseason Major League Baseball coverage. I don't remember that, but
I don't remember that either.
yeah.
That's cool.
I do remember them playing Billie Eilish though, for some reason. That sticks out to me more.
I'm disappointed, Kurt. You
I
remember Billie
yeah,
Eilish, but not the Foo Fighters?
right.
No, I'm just kidding.
I wasn't watching
Nothing wrong with Billie Eilish. I was just joking.
yeah, yeah. The fact that I didn't remember Foo Fighters though.
That's what I'm more disappointed in.
Yeah.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Good song though.
Yeah, it is.
Check this one out.
And then we get to the end, and
Mm-hmm.
associated with an interesting story with an old band. The song
Yes.
Concrete and Gold, and how a chance meeting in a parking lot led to a 40 voice overlaid choir.
Mm-hmm.
The self-titled, the titular song. Is that how you say that? Is that right? Because you can say like
I
the titular character in a movie, if like the movie's called by the main character's name. The titular song?
You're the teacher, Kyle.
Where I teach history.
I know.
Just kidding. You know what? Even if it's not, that's what we're going to use. It's the thing now. I declared it so. Concrete and Gold is the titular song on the album. All right. I'm going to stop talking for a second. You go.
Okay. Anyway, we had our guest for this song is Boys to Men's Sean Stockman. He sings vocals on here. And yeah, another guest I would not have ever thought would be on a Foo
Not in a
Fighters album.
million years
Boys
would
to
you
Men.
say exactly. Hey, guess who we got? I would name a probably 200 to 250 people before I would even consider Boys to Men being on a Foo Fighters album. But
Yeah,
oh man, it goes, and it goes hard, and it's
yeah,
awesome that you get a
yeah.
guy Boys to Men from what's that song? Meet You at the Crossroads, right? That's the Boys to Men.
That's Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Oh geez, I'm so off, man. What am I talking
Ah,
about?
Kyle.
We just got to end the podcast here. It's over.
We
We'll
got
see you next time. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah, no.
But just from Boys to Men to one of the hardest Foo Fighters songs, self-described by Dave Grohl, one of the hardest Foo Fighters songs, is what he said.
Yeah.
So
And we'll be upfront. Concrete and Gold isn't one of their top albums. I think when people give their rankings,
Concrete and Gold is usually around the bottom.
it is. But we're hoping that hearing some of these facts, hearing some of the background, or maybe even just some of the guests on these songs, hopefully, it'll like give some highlights, something to like look into the album for. And it is hard to compare this one to something like The Color and the Shape, but I have appreciated it when I see people ranking the albums, and even when they say Concrete and Gold is their least favorite, they still say like, but I still enjoy it. And I feel the same way. It's like I still often, have it in my playlist. I'm listening to it, but yeah, it just may not be as great as, some of their top albums. So hopefully,
Something's
you
got,
know,
something has got to be at the bottom of each tier list. And when you talk about a Foo Fighters tier list, you're still talking
exactly.
about gold at every level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
See what I did
Yeah.
there? See what I did there? Because it's
Concrete and
concrete and
Gold.
gold. You see what I did there? No, I'm just kidding.
No, you're
No,
not.
I mean, there's got to be something at the top. There's got to be something at the bottom. That doesn't make this a bad album. It just makes it my least favorite album of the Foo Fighters when it's well, it's not my least favorite album of Foo Fighters. This is what I'm saying. But you know what I'm trying to say. It's the least favorite of a list of awesome things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like listing my favorite types of Starbursts. They're all delicious. But
But
I like
The
the red one's
pink.
the best, and if there's a
Oh,
yellow one, I'll probably eat it last.
yeah.
Actually, I always save a pink one for last for some reason.
Save the best for last.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But just because it's not the highest on the tier list does not make it bad. And there are some great listens on this one for sure.
Yeah. So definitely check it out.
All right, I have a
Um,
guest. I have a guest to present as well before we move too far.
yes. I got one too, but I'll let you go first.
Sounds good. Let me make sure this is all right. Make sure the audio goes through good.
Okay.
Fefe, just listened to La Di Da by the Foo Fighters on the album Concrete and Gold. What are your thoughts?
It went out like really loud. Then it went to the smooth, and it kept like going to
Like
the
Dave Koz.
rock because most of the songs about the rock. So that's how I really like that song because it's like has the rock in it. So yeah.
Awesome. Do you like the Foo Fighters?
Yes.
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 Fantastic. Thank you, Fefe. All right,
I
that is my
love it.
daughter's opinion of the song La Di Da. She's definitely a rocker. She bangs her head always when we're listening to music. Her hair's going everywhere, and of course she's 7 years old. She dresses herself, and we went to my son's scrimmage today, and she had a Nirvana shirt on, and I was so proud of her. I was so
So
proud. Like I
proud.
saw her shirt, and I was like, "You're just the best. Thank
You're
you."
just the
I did buy her
best.
that shirt, but she wore it, knowing that Nirvana is awesome, and then the
I,
Dave Grohl connection there.
oh yeah, very nice. And yeah, that was a great review. I had Andrew review "The Sky is a Neighborhood." He really likes this song, so
Nice.
give me a thumbs up if you can hear it. All right. All right, Andrew. We just watched the music video for "The Sky." That's exactly right. What did you think of the video?
Song. I like it, but it's so weird. The music video. It's just so weird.
How was it weird? What did you?
They're just floating some reason. They're just like, ah! And then they're like fighting on the book for the lyrics. They just like, give me that, no, give me that, no, give me that. Oh, nice shoes. Oh, thanks. Give me that, give me that.
Oh my goodness. Pretty cool to see that he had his daughter star in the video though, huh?
Sure. I can see
Nice.
that.
Cool. Thanks for the review, Andrew.
The sky is a neighborhood. The sky is a neighborhood. There we go.
That is awesome.
After I showed him that, he was singing it like nonstop. He's a fan of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, that's our review for Concrete and Gold. Let's go listen to it. It's a Foo Fighters album. Even if it's not the best Foo Fighters, it's still a Foo Fighters album. You know what I mean? It's still got
Exactly.
some great songs on, even if every song doesn't, it's not an album of 11 Everlongs, but it's still got some songs that go pretty hard on there, and it's definitely worth the time to listen, especially if you are an older Foo Fighters fan. You kind of grazed over this album or didn't give it too much of a listen. Definitely go back and check it out. It's good. It's got some good ones on it.
Yeah.
La Di Da is my personal favorite on this album, I think. And so yeah. Anything else to say, Kurt?
Once again, I forgot to show off my band T-shirt for what I'm wearing tonight.
Yes.
I forgot if I've worn this one already. Phoenix, Wolfgang Amadeus Phoenix, though.
Nice.
Another fantastic album. I'll have to try to remember to do.
The classic Gray Dickies shirt,
It's
No,
that's a nice shirt.
Sorry.
Good stuff. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll be back again. We got 2 more albums to finish up, and we'll definitely be there for that. And like you mentioned, did you mention it, this one or the previous one? We've got some things lined up for the future after
We do. It's not going to end with the Foo Fighters. We want to do some more stuff. We want to bring some people on. We want to maybe do I don't want to reveal too much, but at the same time, I want to, you got to build a little hype around it, right? Maybe a video game with the best soundtrack ever created.
It could
Maybe we'll
happen.
talk about that. Maybe
Yeah.
something involving a blue album.
No.
Oh, I've said too much already. So stay tuned
It's
for
all
some
good.
more. We got 2 more Foo Fighters albums coming up. Then we're going to talk about some other stuff. Again, this is Let's Rock Reviews. So we're going to talk about all things rock. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being here with us, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Peace.